Everybody is eating all the leftovers, except for us. We ate Burmese food, because Burmese food is full of delicious things in it.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast. We have another special guest today on the show that's called Mike's Daily Podcast. And look who's here is your name. What's your name on the show?
Well, I think I go by Stormy Phoenix the several times I've come by on the show.
Stormy Phoenix is her name. She's named after some superheroes or something. And the weather forecast.
You know what's funny? If you do type up Stormy Phoenix, you'll probably get like a couple of my blogs that I've done.
Mike's Daily Podcast. What, you're a blogger?
Yes, I do have my own website and I write articles for my own personal blogs also.
Daily Podcast. The song is over right now. Yeah. Now it's done. Okay, go ahead.
So I've written a couple of articles for like other like radio stations as well as my own blog. And then for another like music social media blog.
And welcome to Cafe Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton, the last place on earth. It's episode 2176. Do you want to plug any of the blogs?
Well, you could look me up on Mod Rock Chica.
Mod Rock Chica! Mod Rock Chica!
Yep, which just translates to Mod Rock Chick. But it's in Spanish.
What? Huh? I'm a Caucasian. I don't understand.
I was watching this like stand-up of Ralphie May, and he was talking about.
He died.
Yeah, I remember.
Wait, did he?
Yeah, he already passed away a couple of years ago. And my friend told me about it when I was still working at the radio station, and I was like, no. And then I had to like go on like the closest computer to see if that was true, and that was the case. But
he was pretty overweight, wasn't he?
He was, and I think that's the reason why he passed away because of his
2017.
health.
Oh,
yeah, dang, almost like 4 years ago.
Oh.
But no, he did a segment where he was saying that people didn't know how to spell Caucasian, so they just like wrote white. It's a lot easier. He was like white.
Here's today's podcast.
The podcast picture today. Thank you, Ariel. Is my lovely lady friend and I. We went to, she and I went over to, what's that called? Marine World.
Oh, Six Flags.
Yeah, I didn't get free tickets through our hookup, but we went anyway, and the rides are all closed.
But you got to enjoy the animals, right?
Yes, we got to see them up close, and they're very large and scary and very, whoa. So this is what a lion looks like close up, and they look like they want to tear you apart. So
a couple of famous animals from Marine World.
Famous animal, Basil the Boxer. Boxer's barking at the moment. And he's done. Okay, go ahead.
One of them already passed away. It's the walrus that was in 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
I remember that!
Yes. And the penguin. Now, the penguin's still alive.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what? If you do go back to Marine World, because you know how they give like name, like letter tags on the animals?
Uh-huh.
So if you go to the penguin like site, his like has an F, and I think F stands for famous.
Really?
Yeah.
Because, I saw that dang movie like 1,000 times. Or 50 times, or 50 for...
You know, the other day, I was like, wouldn't it be nice if we...
Just like Drew Barrymore in that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you don't know, the movie, this is for all the podcast listeners that don't know things, that don't ever watch TV, or it's on TV all the time, isn't it?
Yes.
Adam Sandler meets Drew Barrymore, but she had some kind of massive head injury that when she goes to sleep every night, she forgets everything that happened the previous day. And she goes back actually to the day before the accident or something.
Yeah, she like visits the site, and it was because they got to a big car accident and they hit a tree because like the dad was trying to avoid hitting the cow, and there was like one scene where like Drew Barrymore asked Adam like, so what happened to the cow? And then Adam was like, we have to keep reminding it that it's a cow.
Oh, Sean Astin's in that.
Yeah.
He does a great job in that.
He does. I wish he was in more Adam Sandler. He's been in a few, but he's not like the main ones I usually see in every Adam Sandler movie.
He's like all up on steroids and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's trying to work out, become Mr. Muscle Man. One of my favorite Adam Sandler movies, that one. Yes. And the soundtrack was pretty good because they took all these 80s songs and newer people did it. Well, at the time, like there was Fergie and Will.i.am did True by Spandau Ballet, and there was the Cure song was done by 311, the love song.
Yeah.
That
I
was
don't really remember much of the soundtrack except for like the Beach Boys and I gotta rewatch it just for the soundtrack. But yeah, no, I feel like Adam Sandler always like for his movies adds like an 80s soundtrack, like Wedding Singer, and then even like the Grown Ups as well.
Did you see the Halloween one he did this year?
No,
Apparently,
it didn't really look good. I know it's on Netflix, and I feel like now he just resorted to just releasing Netflix movies versus actually big Hollywood ones.
I think he's just sticking to Netflix. Well, nowadays you can't do movie theater movies. It has to be watching on the stream. And
I still haven't even seen the new Wonder Woman.
Has that come out?
Yeah, it has been released on HBO Max, but like I'm using my friend's Hulu account and he has HBO Max on that, but apparently like you can't watch the movie through Hulu. Like you have to have like officially HBO by itself or something like that.
Wow. Do you think we'll ever be in movie theaters again?
Well, a couple months ago, a friend and I, we were walking by the Regal here in Dublin, and they look like they were doing some reconstruction inside the theater.
Ooh.
So I think they're hoping for maybe by like in the summer to reopen. I'm not too sure. I just know they have a lot of Regals temporarily closed.
That's awesome because I have Regal tickets that I haven't used. That I was like, oh great, I'll never get to use these now. Lost money. Oh well. But you went to see so many, you've seen probably thousands of live shows.
Oh yeah, I would probably go to a show every week. Mostly free.
What have you been doing now? I mean, how are you holding up during the pandemic?
Okay, so you know what? A lot of artists now are using live streaming as an advantage to do concerts and stuff. So you would still pay to see them, or unless you want to go on Instagram and they do like very like low production like performances and stuff. But I got an email from Pandora, which I haven't even listened to Pandora in years, but Pandora sent me an email saying if I wanted to see like kind of like a private show of Dua Lipa.
Oh,
and it was free.
British? She's British?
Yes, yeah, she's like Albanian British.
As we go outside a cafe anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere podcaster Valleyton. We're outside right now.
And it's really cold.
It's cold. What are we doing? What are we doing out here?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got heat lamps out here, so everything's fine.
But yeah, her ancestors are from Albania, I think, but she's like British, like she has a British accent. But anyway, you know, you just like have to RSVP, and you know, I just remembered to like set on my calendar that you know her show was coming up, and then she only played 5 songs because I wasn't too sure was she going to like do a whole entire concert? Was she just going to play her entire like new record? I have no idea. So it was just 5 songs, 4 off the new record, Future Nostalgia, which has been nominated for many Grammys, and then her like breakthrough hit, New Rules, which was off her self debut.
And then the one that Don't Start Now.
Yeah. But after the concert, and then in between the songs, she got interviewed by a Sirius XM DJ. But this is the best part. After the concert, the people who watched the show, they were able to click a link and got a free Dua Lipa shirt.
Oh!
Yeah, so I'm waiting for mine in the mail.
That's you have so many shirts from different artists. You have a lot of 80s artists. Like,
yes.
Didn't you meet Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark? You met OMD?
No, I didn't meet them, but I saw them in concert. And I actually wrote about that concert in my blog, or actually a blog specifically for Calex Berkeley. And that piece of article was featured in their biography book.
Wow. Did they pay you any royalties?
No, they just gave me credit. And I actually used my real name plus Stormy Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang. And we'll never know what your real name is, so.
Ha, ha, ha. It's always going to be a mystery.
You're the masked blogger. Pandora. Oh. So I heard about Pandora, good Lord, like in the mid-2000s. On NPR, they were talking about it. And I said, what? It creates a radio station out of like a song you like or something. So I immediately created an account. Back then it was just on the website, pandora.com. No apps yet. None of this stuff. And so I listened to that for like 2 hours straight. Like, what's it going to play next? Mm-hmm. I think I put Mike and the Mechanics, some song from them, just to see what it would do. And do you remember, what was that guy? Jesse McCartney. Do you remember Jesse? It played that Jesse McCartney.
Is that the Beautiful Soul?
Yes, Beautiful Soul.
I remember when that song came out.
And it's thinking I like that song. I'm like, Mike and the Mechanics of the Jesse McCartney, okay. But Tim Westergren started Pandora, by the way. And I know that only because I did a report on him when I went back to college for a short stint. And he's, I don't know how he's doing because Spotify has taken off. You've got all these other...
But see, I don't like Spotify. Like, with Pandora, I don't really use Pandora, but who knows? I think what Pandora is doing right now, they're stepping up their game because they never did Pandora live. I mean, it's pre-recorded, but you know, they just make it feel like it's live and stuff like that. Oh. But like, I don't think that Spotify is doing something similar to this. So, and especially that, you know, they're somehow collaborating with the artists. They're like, hey, how can we get out free shirts, you know, or free merch to people who are watching this? So they're being very creative on their end. But yeah, I remember having Pandora, and I had like numerous like radio stations, and what I didn't like was like there was so many ads. Yes. And you couldn't skip. And then, you know, Spotify, apparently there wasn't ads at the time, and now there's full of ads on Spotify. Oh. So it's no different than Pandora.
Remember Slacker?
Yeah, actually, I did like Slacker, and they actually had some DJs on there too, like Red, but they don't have Slacker radio anymore.
Oh, what's it called?
I can't remember because that app was already pre-installed on my old phone, and I don't have my old phone anymore. I upgraded to a Google Pixel.
Oh, how do you like it?
I really like it, and the main reason why I got it was because of the picture image quality. And sadly, I can't really use the camera because I don't go out to shows anymore.
You never go outside.
Yeah.
You're always stuck.
I'm super pale. You know, it's funny. I had dinner with Steve Fox and my friend Michael.
Oh, name dropping, Steve Fox.
Yes. Hey,
you know what? I should give him a plug because he's got the Steve Fox old school.
Which you could hear me. I've been on a holiday break.
I turned that on the other day and heard a Michael Jackson song. It must have been off of the first solo album because I don't remember ever hearing that song before in my life. I was like, what the... But that's cool. He goes really deep into the old school
gems, yes,
R&B and stuff.
But we were having Italian food, and he was saying how I look tan, and Michael was like, "No, she looks pale." So honestly, I don't know what it is. Do I look more tan? Do I look more pale?
Than before.
Yeah. Well, so I even spoke to my social media boss, and he's like, well, you did look tan over the summer because gyms were closed. I started taking like this free like kickboxing class through Zoom. So I was doing it outside.
You were doing a kickboxing class through Zoom?
Yeah.
Outside?
Yeah.
How'd you do that? Did you set up a laptop?
Yeah, I just opened my laptop. Actually, I saw it through as a job position, and I tried to apply for it, but I don't really have experience as like a fitness instructor. So I end up just out of curiosity just taking the class, and then they kind of build other classes like yoga and some other cardio classes.
Wow!
But I think it stopped being free because they're asking for donations, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I like the idea of it being free. So then I just stopped.
let's see. So, Steve Fox said you looked more tan or less
Yes.
tan. More
No,
pale.
I was tan, according to his eyes.
Okay. Well, I don't know the difference of what color you look the same.
Right?
So,
Yeah, I don't see it myself being more tan. I probably see myself a little bit pale, but
I did not get sunburned at all this year, though. I'll say that. I didn't really go outside too much. And when I did, I put on the sunscreen. Hey, by the way, it's Boxing Day today, just so you know. The British, they beat each other up with the Boxing Day. No, that's not what it stands for. I'm not going to... Should I do the drunk history of what it is?
sure. Do you need some of my drink? I'm doing just fine, and I'm drinking.
Let's see. We were going to talk about horse racing. Forget about Boxing Day. Let's talk about horse racing. So you work at a horse track.
Yes.
You are not a jockey.
No, I'm not. Actually, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, we won't mention the place. We won't talk about the horse track. But you do a little bit of filming. That's one of your many jobs that you've done.
Yes, yeah. And it's a really neat job. I do like recording the horses. Yeah, I've gotten better, definitely, because the first time I was like, damn, these horses are hella fast. I was like, I can't catch up with these horses.
Because they're moving so fast.
Yeah.
Did somebody school you and go, Mod Rock Chica, you have to be faster with how you are filming these?
So, like, with the judges, like, they definitely probably prefer more of a zoom out, like a wide shot. But then, like, the director likes more, like, zoom in, make it a closer shot.
Oh,
and then
okay.
they also want you to record by the rail. I guess that's how they kind of keep track or tabs of, like, of which horse is in the lead or something like that.
Well, how did you even find this job?
Indeed. Brought to you by Indeed.
We hear that a lot on the radio, that statement. So, was it because, do you have filming background, any kind of camera work?
Yeah, I did some camera work at school through video production. Like, we actually use legit studio cameras, like the big ones. And at the horse track, we use the big ones, but it's already kind of mounted, like, by the window. So I don't need to steer, like, this, like, training, like, this tripod on wheels type thing, thank God. But with my social media job, when we used to go to live shows and I would do camera work, it was, like, on a tripod. But those were, like, mini cameras.
And you a lot of the stuff that you filmed at concerts that you've done, like with your phone.
Yeah.
You film stuff.
Which was very poor quality, but
a lot of people have viewed those.
Yeah, I used to get a decent amount, and then to me a decent amount is like a few hundred views. Like, I'm sure, like, to an influencer, like, that's nothing.
Yeah.
But to me, that's like, oh wow, like, people are actually. You get the most views if you post it that night or the next day. If you wait a couple of days, it loses its momentum.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I got dinged by YouTube. They said, I put the podcast, this stuff that people are hearing, I put that on the YouTube, and the people on YouTube were like, no, this is inappropriate. How could this be inappropriate?
Yeah.
Have we cussed at all today? No. Mm-mm. Do you want to cuss?
No.
Don't cuss.
Yeah, because then to me, it's just extra work to add the bleep.
Oh, the other streaming service I remember was Last FM. Did you ever listen on Last.fm?
No, I've heard of it. Don't you have something on there?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe someone else does.
A podcast? No. I think you can hear this podcast on Pandora. Definitely on Spotify. And on radio.com. Oh, by the way, I finally saw Rocket Man.
Oh my gosh, that's been out for like a year already?
Yeah.
I love Taron Egerton.
He does such a good job.
Yeah. Have you seen the second Kingsman?
No.
So Elton John's in that movie, like, as himself.
Oh.
He gets kidnapped by Julianne Moore's character, and she, like, has him, like, prisoner, and he has to perform every night.
Oh, that's funny. I got to see this.
Which is why I think, like, him and Taron Egerton built a relationship off that movie, and I think Elton wanted Taron to play him in Rocket Man.
Yeah, he does. I watching that, I'm like, wow, how did he sounds like him. I think. I mean, he gets the whole inflection that Elton did. And what was smart was, unlike the Queen movie, Bohemian Rhapsody, where every time he sung, they used Freddie Mercury's vocals from some song or another, except for the one scene where he's practicing, trying to get better after being in Germany, and he wants to get ready for Live Aid. You actually hear Rami Malek's voice in that one part where he's trying to sing, and that's like the only time. I
like how you finally watched that movie when you were supposed to watch it when it came out.
And I basically lied on
my interview project, which I still aced, by the way.
Yeah. So Mod Rock Chica had a test or something, or you had to submit a podcast.
Yes.
As a final.
No, it wasn't a final. It was just one of the projects. Because I also did another project with Steve Fox. I think Steve didn't want to even do it, but I forced him to.
You conned him.
We had to work. I had to work with him that day because we were at the Oakland Zoo doing a DJ gig, and we just finished setting up. So we just had a bunch of downtime. And if you've been to the Oakland Zoo, they have that sort of lift that
yes.
Skyline that takes you to the next level.
Yes.
So I was like, we got to do the interview and stuff like that. I was about to do it in one of those, but we decided just to do it during our lunch break or our dinner break. And we talked about when Trump signed the Music Modernization Act.
Well, I don't remember that.
It was very low key. I don't know if they really did that much, but it's supposed to treat the artist fairly when it comes to royalties.
Trump did that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And Kid Rock and Kanye West were oh, thank you, Trump.
Oh, that's right. Kid Rock is a big Trump fan.
Yes.
Interesting. Every time I see that chalet at the Oakland Zoo, because you can see it from 580, and at night it's all lit up very nicely, I always think about you and that gig you did with Steve Fox there. There was some kind of a wedding or something.
Yeah.
You guys did
oh my gosh. And they had the best food and the best appetizers. Because I've been to weddings where the food's decent, but the appetizers would suck. So you would just have to wait till the actual meal comes out. But that was the best. Hopefully they have an anniversary. I was like, Steve, please take me with you.
Well, they will have an anniversary whether they celebrate it or not. Or maybe they won't have an anniversary.
Well, the reason why we did the Oakland Zoo was because the woman, and it was a gay couple. The woman, she works at the Oakland Zoo.
Ah,
she was one of the directors there.
Well, we wish them good luck, and hopefully they stay together through the coronavirus and all these divorces that are supposedly going to happen due to the coronavirus. On that happy note, it was interesting, though, about Rocket Man, just to go back to that, because I know just about every Elton John song, but they did reference one of his worst, I don't know if it was the worst album he ever did, but a lot of critics hated it, and that was Victim of Love. It was a disco album. He didn't play any piano on it, no keyboards. The musicians on it, though, were Michael McDonald. Wow. He sings backup on it, and Steve Lukather, the guitarist from... Well, he's on Beat It. He doesn't do the solo that Eddie Van Halen does the solo in it, but that that's Steve Lukather. He's been on so many things, and it's stuff you hear in the 80s and in with Toto, of course, but it's it was a disco album. Very few people liked it, but it's in the movie Rocket Man. It's when he meets when he gets married to the girl, to the woman that works at the...
I felt like that was such a short scene because then afterwards it just didn't work out.
Yeah. He immediately puts vodka in his orange juice for breakfast, and he's like, I'm sorry. You're supposed to go, oh, okay. That's it. But actually that whole chronology, the timing of that is wrong.
Again, as always. Can I get a movie that's historically accurate? Because I think this is what we talked about with Queen too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's what we talked about. Was they didn't really go too far into his gay lifestyle.
Yeah, and with Rocket Man, it did. I mean, it was rated R, but like I still didn't think it was enough.
You wanted more.
I want more. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I was just, you know what? I was listening to another interview.
You feel like everybody's holding back.
They are. And someone's like, well, then, I did cuss. Okay. Now you can believe that. But I was like, someone's like, well, then just go watch gay porn. I was like, no, I don't need it to be that graphic, but still, like, give me an actual love story.
Do you consider yourself a millennial?
No.
You're Gen Zer?
No, I am. Okay. By my year, yes, I'm a millennial, but I don't identify as a millennial.
Oh, yeah. Because you've got all this 80s music knowledge. Mm-hmm. Which is funny because your mom doesn't like the 80s. She's more into the 70s?
Depending on what artists of the 80s. But my mom grew up in the 80s. She was born in the 70s.
I think she's younger than me.
Yes.
And yeah, so inundated by 80s. I'm sure she knows when you talk about The Cure, she knows that. Like,
she knows that one song, like Love Song or Friday I'm in Love, but like if I were to say The Cure, she'd be like, who dat? She's more into old school, so like that's her format.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So she likes the funk?
Yes.
And
like George Clinton.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. El DeBarge.
Oh, El DeBarge.
Prince, yeah, a lot of like black artists.
Who's Johnny? He said.
Johnny, I know I love you. Yeah.
Did you know Weird Al Yankovic did a spoof of that song and said he changed it to Here's Johnny, and it's all about Johnny Carson. It's back when Johnny Carson was still on the air.
Oh my gosh, no. I feel like I haven't really listened to a lot of like Weird Al songs.
Hey, look who's outside a cafe anyway here. Hello, Mike Matthews. Hello, Mod Rock Chica. It's Jolly Shoeheart's gift shop supervisor. I still have a lot of snow globes to sell. Wow, snow globes. Do you have a snow globe that you'd like to give to Mod Rock Chica? No, she has to buy it. Wow. Okay, she just walked away. Mod Rock Chica, I'm sorry about that. She is really pushy salesperson.
It's okay. You know what? You got to make commission during the holidays.
Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Hello, Mod Rock Chica. So you're on the social media. I don't know what that is.
It's okay. I wish it didn't exist. I think the world would be a better place without social media.
I engineered and created the entire social media. I was just making a joke, funny thing.
Okay, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, get out of here, Mark Zuckerberg. He's so with his hoodie these days. No. I guess pretty much came to an awkward end, this podcast. So we talked about walruses, penguins, Rocket Man, horse racing, Sean Astin, Boxing Day, Pandora.
Steve Fox. He has his own category.
Never mention that name on my show again! Just kidding. Why don't we talk about Jeff Dorian while we're at it?
Why?
Because he and I both grew up in Van Nuys. Did you know that? Van Nuys, San Fernando Valley. I can't roll my R's. Damn it.
I think you might have mentioned it briefly.
It was an interesting place to grow up. Very depressing. Lots of it's hot and ugh. I love it much better here in Podcastro Valleyton. Mod Rock Chica, anything you'd like to plug before we end the show abruptly?
Hopefully 2021 is a year where we could go back to normal somewhat.
Yes. And if you're feeling like, oh, I need to exercise more like I do right now because I've eaten a bunch of food and drank coquito and I am very much heavier than I like to be, then I think I'm going to do some exercises watching Zoom things like you do. Mod Rock Chica.
Yep.
Or I'll just watch somebody on YouTube and go, okay, I can do that.
Hey, just exercise the mind.
I'm just going to go for a walk is what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk somewhere. I need to be in nature more. I need to get out, and that's what I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to walk up a hill, and I'm going to look out over the great expanse of everything and go, yes. Okay, that sounds good. I'll do that. Well, don't feel like you have to add anything at that point because we're just going to end the show. So just say goodbye to everyone. Maybe say that. That would be good.
All right. Well, bye, everyone who listened in.
And if you'd like to chime in about any of this, you can call 336MM Daily. I'm talking to the listener now, not to you, Mod Rock Chica. 336MM Daily. That's 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews Daily, as in what this podcast has actually been for a couple of days. Yeah. That's good. Okay. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Benita, the disgruntled fiddle player, and the brewmaster. Thank you, Mod Rock Chica, Stormy Phoenix.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Hey, you know what I forgot to plug is that I am on the radio tomorrow, or actually Sundays, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can hear me on kkdv.com for a little radio show where I play some of the 80s acts that perhaps we chatted about on this show. For details, you can go to the website, MikesDailyPodcast.com.